Welcome to the show tonight, guys. We've got breaking news. Yesterday, it was all going down at the White House Correspondents' Dinner or whatever type of little PR event they had going on. And there was allegedly an assassination attempt on, I guess, President Trump's life, maybe J.D. Vance, but political figures from this administration. And we'll get into all the nitty-gritty details. I have a lot of receipts. I've got a lot of videos that we're going to watch today, but also a lot of receipts, a lot of conspiracy theories and speculations, and we're going to uncover a lot of that. We're going to try to get through a lot of this discussion throughout the entire hour of the show. But it's intense. And I just want to remind everyone that the videos that we're going to be watching is in fair use for critiquing, commenting, reviewing, and we're reporting the news. Please be patient with me as this is a developing story. And so I am attempting to report accurately, but I could make mistakes like anybody else. So be patient as more information is coming out. I do know that there was some false reporting done that claimed that the shooter was killed, and that has turned out to be false. So I know that people always want to be the first to break some fucking news, but when you are racing to hit the submit button or the go live button or the tweet button, there is a higher likelihood of you misreporting bad information. So I try to not do that. I try to take a little bit to kind of absorb what I'm, looking at, and then we make a call from that point on. So let's go to what happened. This is a scene of the first fire. So this is the White House Correspondents Association. This is a dinner. This is just kind of like a PR event, propaganda event. So let's take a look at this. Wow. Secret Service was on top of it. They were on it. How terrifying, right? How absolutely terrifying. Let's look at another angle of this. It's a bit funny. Listen, no matter what is going on here, the camera guy's always going to get a good shot. So this is going to be a shot of J.D. Vance and the president being escorted off the scene.
There's the president being escorted. The president being escorted out one side. The vice president being escorted.
Baby, they always get the shot, don't they? They always get the shot. They always get the shot. So obviously they are escorting people out of the showroom, and of course our favorite narcissistic monster, Erica Kirk, she does not waste any time taking this opportunity and this moment to showcase herself, to score victimhood points for herself. This is behavior that we're used to seeing from her at this point.
I just want to go find James. I just find some change.
She just wants to go home, she cries into the camera. She just wants to go home. You know what? She ought to have already been home with her children, grieving with her children. As the grieving widow, you would expect from a grieving widow. Why are you tootsie rolling around with all these high-powered political figures? Your husband just got assassinated in front of the entire world. Your children are without a father now. I find it to be laughable that Erica Kirk is still trying to hold on to this idea that she is somehow some major victim in all of this, when she is actively helping the FBI to, it appears that she's helping the FBI to cover up the murder of her husband. In my opinion, allegedly, that's my conspiracy theory. It also appears that she's turned Turning Point USA. She's done a complete 180. I don't want this to be all about Turning Point USA. That's another video. But I have no sympathy for Erica Kirk. I think she's a Black Widow. So we'll move on swiftly and professionally from her. But I kind of want to talk about who is this rumored killer, assassin. Who is he? I found this woman named Azra Nomani, and I really valued her reporting on this story. He is a computer scientist, 31, and he was accused of opening fire at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. He's an elite trained engineer from Caltech, where students with perfect SAT scores gain admission. So this is a very, very smart guy. Let's look at this video, because this is very interesting video. And I haven't seen many people talk about the complete video here. I see one video that is a lot shorter, but this video that shows a little bit more about the conference that they're at, you're going to see someone very interesting, and I want you to take note.
College student Cole Allen developed a prototype for a wheelchair emergency brake.
The wheelchair brakes tend to lock the wheels, but don't actually lock the chair to the ground. The idea with this is to prevent it from moving at all.
Recent Aging into the Future conference held by St. Barnabas Senior Services and the Eisner Foundation offered a test run on products that have the potential to enrich the lives of seniors.
Who's that?
15 different tech startups got to present to over 350 people.
Did you catch it?
In hopes of getting their projects into some sort of senior conference held by St. Barnabas Senior Services and the Eisner Foundation offered a test run on products that have the potential to enrich the lives.
Who's that? She looks familiar. Maybe I got the wrong Indian lady. Maybe they all look the same. I know a lot of people think that the blacks all look the same too. Maybe they all look the same. This looks like a certain wife of JD Vance. Usha, I think her name is, or Usa. Beautiful lady, by the way. I love her necktie. Very classy. She's a very classy lady. Coincidence, I'm sure. Apparently, he was accused of rushing a Secret Service checkpoint at the Washington Hilton and opening fire on a federal officer. He's a mechanical engineer from Caltech, former student researcher at NASA's Elite Jet Propulsion Laboratory, a computer scientist with an advanced master's degree. Interesting. At Caltech, Allen built offensive and defensive robotic systems, physics-based simulations. So this is an elite student. This report says on paper, his trajectory reads as stable, even successful. Federal records show he also made a small political donation during the 2024 election cycle to Kamala Harris. Donald Trump described him as a lone wolf and a very sick person. Yeah, intense. That's who this guy is, right? But I wanna read to you his manifesto. Let's read his manifesto together, guys. It's just so funny how they always had that. Everything's always so handy. Everything's always so handy. Good-looking guy, by the way. Quite the nerd. Good-looking guy. With the right looks maxing, he could be hot as fuck, to be honest. Like, he could look very fuckable. But that's me being a little TMI. But let's read his manifesto, which was just so conveniently done, okay? He says, hello, everybody. So I may have given a lot of people a surprise today. Let me start off by apologizing to everyone whose trust I abused. I apologize to my parents for saying I had an interview without specifying it was for Most Wanted. I apologize to my colleagues and students for saying I had a personal emergency. By the time anyone reads this, I probably most certainly do need to go to the ER, but can hardly call that not a self-inflicted status. He has jokes. He's got a sense of humor. He's got a sense of humor. I apologize to all the people I traveled next to, all the workers who handled my luggage, and all the other non-targeted people at the hotel who I put in danger simply by being near. I apologize to everyone who was abused and or murdered before this, to all those who suffered before I was able to attempt this, to all who may still suffer after, regardless of my success or failure. I don't expect forgiveness, but if I could have seen any other way to get this close, I would have taken it. Again, my sincere apologies. On to why I did any of this. I'm a citizen of the United States of America. What my representatives do reflects on me. I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. Well, to be completely honest, I was no longer willing a long time ago, but this is the first real opportunity I've had to do something about it. He continues, while I'm discussing this, I'll also go over my expected rules of engagement, probably in a terrible format, but I'm not military, so too bad. He's so cute. Administration officials, not including Mr. Patel. Why is that? They are targets, prioritized from highest ranking to lowest. Secret Service, they are targets only if necessary and to be incapacitated non-lethally if possible. AKA, I hope they're wearing body armor because center mass with shotguns messes up people who aren't. Hotel security, not targets if at all possible, unless they shoot at me. Capitol Police, same as hotel security. National Guard, same as hotel security. Hotel employees, not targets at all. Guests, not targets at all. In order to minimize casualties, I will be also using buckshot rather than slugs, less penetration through walls. I would still go through most everyone here to get to the targets if it were absolutely necessary, on the basis that most people chose to attend a speech by a pedophile, rapist, and traitor, and are thus complicit. But I really hope it doesn't come to that. I'm unimpressed. I'm just unimpressed. Like, when I heard the news that another assassination attempt dropped, I was just unimpressed from the very get-go, and I'm still unimpressed. And we're gonna go into a section of this live stream where we're going to explore a couple of the conspiracy theories. I have a video from a guy that really brought up a lot of inconsistencies right off the bat, and I just want to say that I do not have a firm grasp on what I think happened here. I'll say that right now. However, I completely understand why no one believes this bullshit. I 100% understand. And if you don't understand why people don't believe this, then you're part of the problem. Not just this administration, But every administration we've had since I've been born, they lie to us constantly. Let me remind you that this administration specifically has spent a lot of time, effort, and energy protecting pedophiles who eat children. That wasn't so long ago. This administration still has not released and unredacted all of the Epstein files. Per the Transparency Act, they're breaking the law. So, why anyone still trusts the government in any capacity blows my mind. It blows my mind. I look at you guys and I think that you're just fucking idiots. You're willfully being fucking idiots if you trust the government under any administration. They all constantly lie to you in order to save their own skin and in order to enrich themselves. So they're the boys that cry wolf. Even if this actually happened and they're telling the whole truth, you lie so fucking much that I have no reason to believe you when you are telling the truth. You lie so much, I have no reason to believe you when you are actually telling the truth. And we'll get into that, because it is true that a lot of people on the left, this pernicious liberal ideology, is pushing political violence. That is 100% true. But the unfortunate reality from my perspective is that Republicans and Democrats are telling the truth about each other right now. That's what it feels like to me. But anyway, but I suffice. Let's get into this video because it's really interesting, guys. It's really, really interesting.
Really weird.
This speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny, it'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room.
Check this out.
Quickly tell you, I was sitting next to Caroline Levitt, the press secretary's husband. He was seated right next to me, and then he kind of leaned over and said, you know, I watched you on TV, you do a great job. You need to be very safe. And he was just very serious when he said that to me. And he kind of looked around the room and he said, you know, there are some...
They cut her phone off. They stopped her from talking live on air. And this is the person who allegedly did this. Now, what's absolutely wild, that this random account, Henry Martinez, joined X on December 2023 and tweeted out one name, Cole, on December 21st, 2023. There's a motive.
And I will say, you know, it's not a particularly secure building. I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it.
The White House East Wing Ballroom Project, where Donald Trump fired the McCreary architects and replaced them with Shalom Baroness Associates.
Of course.
This ballroom, the one that has the blueprint that looks exactly like Solomon's temple. And what does Shalom Baroness Associates have experience with? Doing multiple synagogue renovations, renovating temples. And you remember America Reads the Bible 2026, a historic call to return to God's Word that literally finished today, where Donald Trump read the Bible. And he specifically read...
But I have to interrupt. Trump reading the Bible, I am so shocked and surprised that he didn't burst into flames immediately upon reading the scriptures.
2 Chronicles chapter 7, verses 11 through 22. So what does 2 Chronicles chapter 7 deal with? The dedication of the temple. where the Lord appears to Solomon after Solomon finished building the temple, and the Lord gave him a vision, saying, when I shut up the heavens so that there is no rain, or command the locust to devour the land, or send plagues among my people, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sins. This is what Donald Trump read. And so is this a play to get the third temple built? This is
a mess. One big fucking mess, y'all. One big mess. And it's worse. It gets worse. There is Cole Allen pictured in an IDF sweatshirt. I don't know what that means. But that was all wiped before people could all publicly go and view it themselves. But that was posted onto his then public Instagram. They're sloppy. They're sloppy. Very, very sloppy. I thought this was really cute. This advertisement, I think, is really great and can be used for a lot of different things these days. When the story gets messy, we make sure someone else takes the fall. 1-800-LONE-WOLF. Providing patsies, fall guys, and all-around pawns for official narrative. The patsy takes the blame, the fall guy takes the fall, the pawn is disposable and replaceable. We take the heat so you stay in the clear. Discreet, deniable, dependable. And every package includes the following: a clean backstory, deleted internet footprint, a credible motive, a ready-made alibi, disposable and deniable. Prior deleted internet footprint included. Hashtag purged. You write the story, we handle the characters. Nobody asks questions. Call 1-800-LONE-WOLF because the truth is overrated. Now listen, y'all. I don't know if this is a psyop or not. But what I can tell you is that I would not be surprised if it is. Because again, this administration, which is not unique to any other administration, but this administration lies so much. Their polls are down so bad, like Democrats will be taking over and they will be placing a lot of these Republicans in jail. And I cannot wait for that day to happen. But they're desperate. They're very desperate, and the motive is there. The motive is there for this to be a psyop. Now, again, the motive is also there for this guy to be a liberal lunatic because they exist and they are real and they believe in political violence. As someone who is a conservative leaning libertarian who happened to vote for that alleged pedophile Trump, I've been threatened on the internet. I just got threatened on Instagram yesterday for defending Candace Owens. So I know firsthand that these lunatics, these Looney Tune liberals, the very, very far left, they believe in political violence. And they show this and they show that trait of theirs every time they open their fucking mouths. I'm sure right now, you can go follow your favorite liberal right now and look at their comment section. I can guarantee you they're probably crying and boo-hooing about either it being a psyop or him not getting the shot off. So it's like both of these ideas are completely plausible. They're completely plausible. And that's sad. That's really, really sad, guys. that we live in a society where a large group of the population here believes in political violence, and they think that they can just kill people to get what the fuck they want. And it's also sad that we live in a society where the FBI, the CIA, and our president and our government officials literally will cause havoc in our own countries and kill and murder people and assassinate people for their own selfish benefits. Both things is a reality here in America. And I find it to be deplorable. It's absolutely deplorable.